My best friend murdered me over a lottery ticket. She gave me as a wedding gift, but when we both woke up back at the ceremony, she snatched the ticket away and started bribing my guests to ruin my wedding, convinced she was stealing her millions back. To understand why she was screaming on a chair at my reception, you have to know the history we just erased. In our past life, Jess gave me a cheap lottery ticket as a wedding gift, claiming poverty. That ticket won $50 million. When she found out, she showed up at my door in a rage, stabbed my husband, and pushed me off a balcony, killing us both. Now we were back. Jess slapped my hand away before I could even take the ticket, her face twisted with the knowledge of a future that hadn't happened yet. She stuffed the ticket into her pocket, obsessively checking it for damage, and shrieked that it was hers. She didn't know the truth. The winning ticket in my past life wasn't the one she gave me. It was one I had bought for myself. That same morning, she was fighting over a worthless piece of paper, but she didn't stop there. Convinced she was now a multi-millionaire in waiting, she climbed onto a chair and announced to the entire room that she would pay $5,000 cash to anyone who took back their wedding gift and cut ties with me. Her husband arrived moments later, panting, dragging a duffel bag filled with their life savings, $20,000, which she began to flash around, like a weapon, trying to buy my humiliation with money she couldn't afford to lose. My own aunt pushed past me to get to the duffel bag of cash, telling me to my face that my relationship wasn't worth $5,000, while my best friend laughed and paid the venue manager 5 times my booking fee to kick me out of my own wedding. To understand how quickly money corrupts, you have to see the feeding frenzy that erupted in that ballroom. Jess opened the bag, revealing stacks of cash, and announced a limited-time offer to anyone who cut ties with me. The betrayal was instant. Megan, who had just defended me, switched sides for $5 grand, demanding her $200 gift back before I could even blink. My own relatives swarmed Jess, justifying their greed with sob stories about their low wages, selling me out for a payout. In minutes, the bag was empty, and my wedding guests were gone. Jess wasn't done. She marched up to the venue manager and offered 5 times my booking fee to take over the hall immediately. The manager, blinded by greed, agreed without hesitation, treating me like a ghost at my own reception. Jess ordered him to leave the decorations but tear down my wedding portrait. When it crashed to the floor, she stomped on my face in the photo, grinding her heel into my image. She sneered that I had always looked down on her, citing the diamond ring I gave her at her wedding as proof of my arrogance. I laughed bitterly. She didn't know I had worked overtime for a month and emptied my savings to buy that ring because she said she loved it. I realized then that my generosity had been poisoning our friendship for years. As I watched her burn through $25,000 to steal my venue, I straightened up and offered a final warning. "I just hope you don't regret this," she scoffed, oblivious that she was bankrupting herself for a victory built on a lie. Jess posted a "No Dogs or Millers Allowed" sign on the doors of my hijacked wedding venue, gloating that our social classes were now worlds apart, completely unaware she was bankrupting herself for a lottery ticket that was already worthless. To understand the full scope of her delusion, you have to see the aftermath. Jess had security guards physically throw me and my husband Mark out of our own reception, humiliating us in front of a crowd that was already cheering for her newfound wealth. She smirked as she taped that sign to the glass, declaring her superiority. My own family turned on me, fawning over Jess like she was royalty, while my aunt claimed she always knew I was bad luck. Mark and I left, choosing a quiet honeymoon over the chaos, but my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Jess was funding a lavish shopping spree for her new entourage, buying designer bags and king crab dinners, burning through cash she didn't have. I soon discovered she had liquidated everything, her car, her house, her savings, selling her home for half its value just to finance this performance, all banking on a $50 million prize she believed was hers. The night before the lottery drawing, she called me from a presidential suite, taunting me one last time about the chasm between our lives. I hung up and woke Mark early. We drove toward the state line, leaving her behind. As we crossed the border, my phone lit up again with frantic, desperate calls from Jess. The drawing had happened. She had just realized the ticket in her pocket was a dud, and the millions she had already spent were gone forever. Welcome to share your feelings in the comments section. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more story content, please check out the other videos on my channel.